Hey everyone, so I have a celebrity inspired makeup look for you today, and I know I'm in a very strange background at the moment. That is just because I'm in my converted garage. This room seems to get the best light, so I'm thinking it might be a better place to film. I'm not really sure, so let me know if this background kind of bothers you or if the quality of light or whatever in this video is different to my normal ones, and then I'll see where's best to film. But yeah, I am back and I am doing a tutorial for you today, as I said, of the Demi Lovato makeup from XFactor USA. I don't really watch XFactor USA all that much, but I just happened to watch it and I happened to see Demi sporting a look very similar to this, and I thought it was really cool and unique with the massive wing. So I thought I'd recreate it for you today. I already applied my face makeup just to save a little bit of time because I have a feeling this tutorial is going to take absolutely ages to film. But all I did for that was I applied some of the MAC Fix Plus all over my skin, and then I just applied a light layer of the Garnier BB cream, the light version of that. Next, all I'm going to do is take a bit of the Amazing Cosmetics concealer, just pop that right under my eyes, just where I have kind of dark circles. So to start off the eyes, I'm just putting a bit of Urban Decay Primer Potion just over my eyelids, kind of smudging it out to the edge because there will be some shadow out in the outer corner. Do the same on the other eye. And then I'm going to pop a tiny bit just through my bottom lashes. It's quite hard to see the exact kind of formation of her eyeshadow simply because her eyes are almost always open, but from the pictures I found online, I'm going to try and create the look using mainly just this eyeshadow trio. This is the 17 eyeshadow trio in the nude, so it's just got a bunch of neutral shades. So then the first thing I'm going to do is just pick up the light golden eyeshadow, and I'm just going to pat that onto my inner corner. I am patting with these eyeshadows simply because you do tend to get quite a lot of fallout. I'm also taking that around my tear duct just here. So once I've got that placed, I'm going to go to the second colour in the trio, which is a kind of bronzy brown colour. And again, I'm just going to pat that all over my eyelid. I'm going to take it as far as my crease. I'm also going to run this colour all the way along my bottom lashes. And I'm going to make this line quite thick. I'm next going to take a fluffy brush and just buff that kind of coppery colour up toward my brow. I want this colour to come quite high, so just keep buffing and blending upwards. Once we've got that done, I'm going to go back to the light golden shade. I'm just going to place this right under the arch of my brow. And I'm going to place quite a lot of this on just because I really want a dramatic shimmery highlight. And then you can just blend those edges again just to make it a bit soft. And so then going on to make this eye just a bit more smoky, I'm going to take the darkest shade in the palette and I'm just going to take that on a damp brush because I find that this colour is a little bit more ashy than I would like it to be. But as I said, I really want to try and make this look using mainly just this palette. I'm going to start at the base of my lashes and I'm using a thick, dense brush for this. And I'm just going to start kind of buffing that through my lash line. Kind of pulling upwards. Okay, that colour just isn't really showing up exactly how I wanted. So I'm going to take a dark brown shade just from one of my Benefit palettes. But again, you can use any eyeshadow that you own. It just happens that this one is a good kind of dark matte brown. So with that new brown colour, I'm just going to carry on doing exactly what I was doing before. Just building up the intensity in this bottom part of the eye. I can't tell if this colour goes into Demi's crease or not, but I am just going to place a tiny bit right there just to kind of join everything together. And with a fluffy brush, I'm just going to start blending this all through. I'm going to reapply some of that dark brown, taking it along my bottom lashes. Her eyeshadow seems to come kind of straight out rather than up at an angle like I normally would do it. So I'm just dragging that colour out. And so now all that shadow's placed, we get onto the really tricky part of the look, which is the massive wing outliner. And I'm gonna attempt using a gel liner for this just because I think it might be a little easier, but I may switch to a pen halfway through. But I'm going to try it with the Bobbi Brown, which one is this? This is the Black Ink Longwear Gel Eyeliner. Firstly, all I'm going to do is take a detailer brush from Real Techniques, and I'm just going to take this through my tight line, just to really blacken that out. I'm then also going to run it just along my lower lash line. More along the lashes than actually in the waterline. And then I'm just going to put a basic line across the top of my lashes, and then we'll work on the wing. From what I can see from pictures, I think it actually starts from her bottom lash line and comes up, rather than starting from the top. So I'm going to attempt this now, but I might plot it out first. So I'm just going to take a brown pencil just because it's easier to kind of hide. And so I'm going to plan to start my wing about here. And then it curves up and it goes pretty much straight to her brow. So you can see I've just done a tiny little dot there. And again on the other side. And this just helps make sure that your wings are as symmetrical as possible. To be honest, I probably won't be able to get mine that symmetrical simply because my eyes are completely different shapes, as probably most people's are. So I'm then going to take my gel eyeliner again. I'm just going to follow those dots, kind of like a dot to dot. So that's my first initial line done. And then I just want to slowly thicken the base. And so then once that's on, I'm just going to apply some mascara. I'm going to use L'Oreal False Lash Telescopic, and then I'm also going to apply some lashes. I'm not sure which ones these are. They're just really big and long and overly dramatic, but they're not that. So now I've put the lashes on, I'm going to go in and do bronzer, and I'm going to use my cream bronzer from Chanel. I know that this is expensive, and so a lot of you guys don't like it when I use it, but it is just perfect for this look because it doesn't look like she's that powdered. She looks quite dewy on her skin, so I am going to use it. But if you really, really don't want to use a cream bronzer, or you have oily skin or anything like that, I would suggest the bronzer from H&M. It has a similar tone to the Chanel one, but it is just a powder and it's a lot cheaper. So I'm just going to take my bronzer on a contour brush from Real Techniques. I apologise if you can hear the plane. And I'm just going to start working this across my cheekbones. I'm also going to take it a little up on my forehead here. I'm actually not going to worry too much about blending it right now. I'm just kind of placing the product. I'm also placing some on my jaw. I'm just going to do the same on the other side. I'm then going to go back to my foundation brush and just lightly buff that over just to blend it all in. For blusher, I'm going to use something that is again from the drugstore. This is the Dream Touch blush from Maybelline in the colour number 6. Take a small amount of that on my finger and just place that across the apple of my cheek. For a highlight, I'm going to use my MAC Vanilla Pigment, and I'm just going to take some of that on a 130 brush. Place it across the tops of the cheeks. Tiny bit down the nose, Cupid's bow, chin and forehead. Quickly before I do the lips, I'm going to go in and fill in my brows just with a brow powder. I use one from Sleek. And then finally for my lips, I'm just going to go in with a lip liner. This is a number 7 lip liner in Melon. I'm just using this because the lipstick I'm using tends to wash me out a lot. And I feel like if I put this lip liner underneath, it might just help it not wash me out so much. But again, this is completely optional. And then just quickly before I put the lipstick on, I'm going to put some lip balm. I feel like this helps to blend the lip liner. And for the lips, I'm going to use MAC Hue lipstick. Just a really nice neutral kind of baby pink shade. And so that completes my Demi Lovato XFactor look that I saw on her. I don't really watch it, as I said, but I just happened to be watching that episode and I thought her makeup was really cool and really unique, especially just with the really massive wing. So yeah, I know it's not an everyday look necessarily, but I don't know, it might be nice for like a party or Halloween, or I don't know, something where you need to dress up. So yeah, I will list all the products I use below as always, and I shall see you all soon.